I have a dream. Well, I had a dream last night, and I remembered it, and I wrote it down. First thing I remembered this morning when I woke up, immediately was that I had a dream last night. I used to take the whole dream journaling thing for granted. I used to think, oh, that doesn't work. I'm not going to start it. It's never going to go anywhere because I'm never going to have a dream I remember. Boy, was I wrong. Like, immediately, the first thing when I woke up, I thought, dream. I had a dream. I was eating food in a convenience store. That's it. That's all it was. There wasn't anything crazy or fun or exciting I could tell you about. I wish it was because I love dreaming. Dreaming's awesome. I wish you could activate dreaming on demand. Can I have on demand dreaming, Comcast? Now there's a service you're not providing me. I want to point out some pens. Some markers, rather. I use this one actually exclusively right now. Sorry. This is the dual brush pens by Tombow. These are awesome. I love these a lot. I never even use the fine tip end. I always use the brush end. They work so good for what I like to do with them. And honestly, I only need like one or two. It comes in like a set of 5 or 6 or whatever, but 6. But if you go over this wet, as long as the paper can take it, you can really get just about any shade of gray you want. I mean, starting as light as this and going obviously much darker. So yeah, I recommend them. They're pretty good. So all you artists out there from Massachusetts, want to see something funny? Now you might think, oh, look, oh yes, the word penis. I forgot to point that. Let me see. Let me just show you. This is a penis peeing on another penis. That's what my son told me. I don't know what that little marshmallow guy is. I think the marshmallow guy is cute. Actually, my son's art is a lot better than this lately. Like, not that this is bad and I'm critiquing him. He's gonna watch this in 20 years and be like, "What a son of a bitch." But his art's getting really good. Like, far advanced for his age. Far advanced. Or if people tell you, you know, at that age he shouldn't be doing that, then he's far beyond. Perhaps he's exactly where he should be. That's my opinion of the matter. Let me welcome 2 more people to the road. We have 2 more travelers. This caravan is just getting big, man. Mickey1332. Thank you, Mickey. Thank you for joining us on the road. I really appreciate it. And Madam X Zarina. Are you a real madam? Madam? Ma'am? Just a fax, ma'am. Thank you for subscribing. You guys, it makes my day. When I wake up in the morning, I see more subscribers. It's awesome. So I'm gonna say this now, and I'll probably repeat it at the end. But if you know anybody who might like these, please pass them along to your friends. You know, it seems like wildfire when that happens. It really does. Like, I know we're at a certain amount of viewers right now or whatever, but it's so exciting. Things are evolving and changing and moving forward, and I'm starting to see progress, I guess. Like I said, a lot of this is done for my kids. If they want to see this in 20, 30, 40 years, show their grandkids themselves, you know, I didn't have that opportunity because this wasn't available to us at the time. I'm going to kill those dogs again and again and again. And again. Oh, that's not milk, folks. That's not milk. Yeah, welcome to the road, guys. So the dream journaling seems to be doing something. It's so funny because I hope this is consistent now. Like, I mean, I'm not expecting like there's a formula for dreaming. Like, do this plus this equals dreams. However, I've only been writing. Well, let's take a look. It's from the 19th was the first time. Actually, I think I wrote the wrong date down. So I think it's been about 5 nights. No dream, can't remember, no dream, eating food at a convenience store. But it was very vivid when I woke up. I could remember it. I don't remember it as much now. If I had written it down right away, I bet you it would have been a different thing. I would have dwelled on it a little bit longer, burnt it in the old memory, the RAM. No, I guess that would be my hard drive. What's my RAM? Oh, wouldn't you like to know, filthy sons of bitches. Hey, what are we going to talk about tonight? What are we going to talk about? Let's talk about the Ice Bucket Challenge a little bit. I filmed a video earlier. You may or may not have seen it. It was a cliffhanger. Did I or did I not dump a bucket of ice water on my head? I had done a video not too long ago kind of denouncing these videos. Not because I didn't think they weren't for a good cause, but because it just seemed like in the beginning there's a lot of, please forgive me for saying this if you're one of them, because I don't mean it. There's a lot of just morons just dumping ice on their head because of this challenge. Like a lot of people weren't saying anything about ALS or actually, where you could donate money or what it does. You know what I mean? Until today, I'm going to be honest. When I recorded that video earlier, I really didn't know too much about it. I knew basically what it did to a person, but I didn't know how many people had it, how many people died every year from it. And I think it's important to educate ourselves about things like that. And I probably never would have if it hadn't been for all this hoo-ha. However, I do think we should keep this ball rolling. This is something we should be doing every day of our lives for a cause. Like, if you believe in something, start a challenge. Who knows? It might go nowhere, or it might take off. It might be the next big thing. You know what I mean? I need to come up with something. The hot poker challenge. That's right. No, don't do that. Don't do that. What was that fire challenge? You see that kid? He was in the shower just dousing himself in like lighter fluid or something. And he lights himself on fire. Has he never lit anything on fire before with like lighter fluid? Does he not realize what happens when you do that? Because I've done it a lot. I used to go out in my parking lot. I lived next to a business in Massachusetts, in Taunton, Massachusetts, the Bubblette to be precise, which changed its name. Let's switch gears for a second. Nonetheless, I used to put like things, write words, light it on fire, and everybody looked down and be like, hey, da, da, da. That shit burns. It burns. It burns fast and it burns hot. And then it burns off quick. But not before it burns your flesh. You fleshy morons. Why would you do that? Honestly, like, it's fire. You were in the shower. Why don't you have the water running in case of an emergency? When there's going to be fire around, you got to prepare for things like that. I guess that's, the whole, what's that term that they use? Selective natural selection? The Darwin Awards? The Tea Party? What? Anywho, I lived next to this laundromat for, let's see, I was 7 when I moved back there. That's when my dad died. We used to live in Mendon, Mass, which is a beautiful town, beautiful little town. Your typical New England little town, even smaller, really small town. But I had a lot of stuff going on around it too, so it wasn't like you were in the middle of nowhere. It was like having small town living within a half hour to everything you'd like to have access to. Mendon, Mass. So we moved to Massachusetts. Don't look at me like that. I didn't do it. Actually, I forgot what I was talking about. I was 7, and I left when I was 29. So that's 22 years, right? Yeah, 22 years I lived there. 22 years. And even before that, I had been born in Taunton. We left. We went to Florida for 2 years. Went to Mendon, I think, for 2 years. I can't remember how many years I was at certain places. And then after my dad died, we moved back with my grandmother in Taunton. Well, this laundromat had, if you go to a laundromat, you know how laundromats smell. Clean clothes, usually. Or like fabric softener. And all these combinations of clean smells. Well, I used to wake up in the morning, especially in the spring, like it would be coming through the windows. And just that's a smell that'll always unite me with my youth, is laundromats. I wish we had some more hip laundromats. We have a Christian laundromat around here. It's not very hip. Sorry, Christians. It's not. I mean, maybe you have a hip laundromat where you live, but here, not so good. But I think laundromats could be fun. Like the one near me, it had an arcade. It had like 2 games in it, 3 games, and it had a candy machine and a cigarette machine. That's right. The knob pulling cigarette machine. They still had one of those. Like, that's why when I talk about the 70s a lot, I know I was only 5 years old, like when it turned to 1980, but I grew up around things that didn't grow up faster than the times. See, back in the day, like before the internet and for portable electronics, like even before, like, I mean, boom boxes and Walkmans, like there was a certain, you know what I'm talking about. You know, the certain parts of your life, they might span 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. There's just a sense of awareness of being. you feel a certain way. There's certainly an emotion that is kind of tied to it. It's almost unexplainable sometimes. But I think most people experience that. Like, they're going through highs. They're very uplifted for a few years. Like, when we first moved here, it was like very like shiny and new. So when I hear songs or smell sounds, hear sounds, what? Anytime I experience a sense that I experienced during those times, it's highly tied to memory. So I can remember so much about riding my bike around the Bubblette. I remember I hit a telephone pole. First day I got my bike, and something fell off of it, and I couldn't find it. And I came home, and I think my mother yelled at me and beat me terribly. Oh, so no, she didn't beat me. She did yell at me. I remember her yelling at me. I was like, why is she yelling at me? I just fell off my bike and smashed into a telephone pole. That's not right. But yeah, the cigarette machines. And I knew Jenny Burke, who passed away, must have been at least 8 or 9 years ago now. Or it might have been when I was still living there. She used to basically run the place. Like, there was an owner, there was a manager. She just worked there, but she ran the place. She'd been there ever since I mean, she was probably about 300 years old. But, yeah, she was a nice lady, and I remember, like, she used to be the crosswalk guardian, too. And would get me on the bus in the mornings, some mornings, when I used to go to Galligan, which was, like, literally, like, a 10-minute walk from my house. I could totally do that now. I could be there in, like, 5 minutes now, because my legs are, well, at least twice as long, if not 4 times. I don't know. Yeah, but they're changing the name of the Bubblette. I mean, it's been the Bubblette since before I was born. It's right on the corner where Winthrop Street, here's 44, and Gohannet Street cross. And it's just on the corner. It's a weird-shaped building. It's literally shaped like a piece of pie because of the streets intersecting. They made good use of the space, I gotta tell you that. And then not further down the road, you cross the street. On the next corner is an old barber shop. Like, I mean, like, I guarantee if it's still there, you walk in, it looks just like it did. Well, maybe not anymore. But when I lived there, I remember walking by there and just being like, my God, this has never changed. It was probably the same since it was like the 50s or 60s. Like, everything inside was just old, and old school too. But I'd go down there with my uncle and just listen to him tell stories. I know I've told this story before. Anywho, so I guess I should probably introduce the second half of the ice bucket challenge. Did I or didn't I douse myself in ice cold water? Well, if you want to find out, I'm going to slap it on after the credits. I want you to hear my spiel. I know you can just pass it right by. You go, did he do it? Yeah. You may not have even watched this whole episode, but nonetheless, thank you guys for coming back again tonight. Look into ALS, or if there's some other cause, look into that. Support something. Even if you can't contribute money right now, we could start a challenge. We could start just an awareness project. I mean, I think people are a little bit more aware now. Like, I think you can watch out for these things. Who knows what the next thing will be? It could be your idea. It really could. You know? Let's save some lives and let's make people smile. That's what I'm all about. So you guys have a great night. If you know anybody who loves these, or who you think would love these, if you're loving them like I'm loving them, you know, pass them along. Share them out on the Facebooks, the Twitters, the Instagrams, whatevers. The Vine. I guess Vine's getting big now. I should probably get involved with that. Don't forget to make somebody smile tomorrow. Make yourself a better person than you were today, tomorrow. Today. Make yourself a better person tomorrow than you were today, tomorrow. Yeah. And let's make the world spin a little bit happier together. I'm Jason Oliveira, and if you want to find out if I took the challenge, then continue watching right now.
Oh, the ice is terribly melted. My son's over here watching. Oh, this sucks. Woo. Wow! I've seen a lot of different can't think. Brain freezing. I've seen a lot of things. I didn't realize how cold that was going to be. So thank you guys for tuning in. Stick around. We got a lot of videos going on the road to 40 tonight, and or go back and binge watch. Come here, give me a hug. It's just like the Game of Thrones, only completely different. You guys have a great day.